We're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, we only have about 10 questions that we're going to do, and it's all about factoring. And then, guys that are on Zoom, I'm going to go ahead and open up that test, and you can do it right now, and then you don't have anything to do tomorrow. So it kind of gives you a break for tomorrow if you'd like. If there's anything that you need to make up, tomorrow is a great day to do that, okay? So if you have any missing assignments, please make those up and get that done tomorrow. So the first thing that we're going to do is it tells you to factor out a common factor. That's your GCF. Okay, and remember that's our first step to factoring anyway, but for 1 and 2, that's all they want you to do. So if you get these directions, you're only doing GCF. So we're just going to break it down. Your factors of 10 are 2 and 5 and 3 x's. We have a minus. Your factors of 90 are 9 and 10. 9 is 3 and 3. 10 is 2 and 5, and we have 2 x's. And then we have a minus. And we have 80 is 8 and 10. And remember, 8 is 3 2's. And 10 is 2 and 5, and an x. Look at all of them. Look at the first term. Is there a 2 in all of them? So we circle it. Is there a 5 in all of them? Yeah, so we circle it. And then is there an x? Is there another x? Once we find a no, we're done, okay? Once we find that, we're done. So then we multiply that together. What is 2 times 5? 10 and an x. And then remember, we just write down the leftover. So read what you got. We have 2 x's, which is x squared. We have a minus. 3 times 3 is 9 and an x. And then we have a minus. And we have 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. That's all they want you to do. So if you see those directions, that's all they want you to do. Okay. Go to your next one. We're going to break these down. 30 is 5 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3, and 6 p's. And I'm going to write them on top of each other so I don't have to run it all the way across the screen. Plus, we have 30 again, which was 5 times 6. 6 is 2 and 3, and 4 p's. And then we have a plus. And 70 is 7 and 10. So 7, 2 and 5, and 3 p's. Is there a 5 in each one? Yes, so we're going to circle it. Is there a 2 in each one? Yes. Is there a 3 in each one? No, so we skip over that. Is there a p in each one? Is there another p in each one? Is there another one? Is there another one? We're done, right? So what did we circle? What's 5 times 2? 10. And 3 p's, or p cubed. Then you write down the leftovers. I had a 3 and 3 p's. So 3p cubed. Did a big fat plus. I had a 3 and 2 p's. So 3p squared. And the only thing I didn't have in the end, or didn't circle, was a 7. So you're going to have a couple questions that say just find the GCF. That's all you have to do. Don't do any more than that. All right. Any questions on 1 and 2? You guys are good with those? All right. Check this out. Remember what I told you yesterday. The first step is always GCF. First step is always GCF. And then we either have 2 terms, three terms, or 4 terms. Okay. 2 terms, was when we did pairs and share. Three terms is either going to be your cheater method. Remember, that's when there's no number in front, or it's going to be slide and divide. That's when there is a number in front. And then four terms was grouping. So we're going to do all of these in just a second. But I want to start with the easy ones first. So I'm going to do the two terms, and then I'm going to do the three terms with no number in front, and then I'm going to do the slide and divide ones, and then I'll go to the grouping. Okay. I suggest that you kind of do that on your test too. Just kind of click through and see if there's, some easy ones on there, and then go back to the hard ones. All right. So if we look at 3 through 10, what numbers only have two terms? Do what? 9 and 10. All right, so if we look at number 9, remember pairs and shares, so we're going to break it down. X squared is x and x. 16 is 4 times 4. You can keep breaking that down, but it's already a pair, so we're going to leave it alone. We're going to make 2 sets of parentheses, and we're going to share. What goes in the front? X. What goes in the back? One is positive, one is negative. That's all you do. So the two terms are really, really, really simple, okay? Really quick. Look at number 10, same thing. 25 is 5 and 5. Then you have 2 ends. We have a minus. 4 is 2 and 2. So we have pairs. So we set up 2 parentheses. What goes in the front? 5 and what else? N. Perfect. What goes in the back? A 2. One is positive, one is negative. That's it. Everybody good? It's as hard as those get. Real simple, okay? Now we're going to look for the ones with 3 terms that they don't have a number in the front. It's just variables. So which ones would those be? 3 and 4, right? So for 3 and 4, all we're doing are factors of the last. So factors of -5 that add to 4. So factors of the last that add to the middle. Guys, use your calculators on this. It's fine. We're going to put in -5 divide x. -5 divide x plus x. We're going to look at the table, and we're looking for a red 4. Right there's a red 4. What are your two numbers? So we're going to do the variable, which is x and -1. And then x and a +5. That's it. That's simple, guys. We'll do the same thing on number 4. We're trying to find factors of the last, so 24. Make sure if it's negative, you use a negative. That add to the middle, which is -11. -11. So in our calculator, we're doing factors of 24. And we're looking for a red 11, -11. What are my two numbers? So our variable is n and a -3, n and a -8. Right. Number 5 and number 6 are the ones that have numbers in front, 3 terms with the numbers in front. So those are slide and divide. So when we look at number 5, we're going to slide the 5 over. We get a squared plus 6a minus, remember we're multiplying, 5 times 8 is 40. Now it's just like the other ones, but then you remember to divide on the end. So we're trying to find factors of -40. So we do -40 divide x, -40 divide x plus x. And we're looking for a positive red 6. What are the two numbers next to it? -4 and +10. So we're going to write those down. But then don't forget to divide, okay? What are we going to divide by? 5. 4 over 5 will not reduce. Again, I showed you how to put that in your calculator. 4 over 5, math, enter. It did not change. You guys see it's the same fraction, so that means I can't do anything to it. So I'm just going to move it to the front. So your first fraction, or sorry, your first factor is 5a minus 4. And then if you guys put in 10 divided by 5, you get 2, or you already knew that it was 2. So this turns into a plus 2. That's it. So slide, cheater method, divide. Number 6 is the same thing. It's just bigger numbers. I'm going to have to use my calculator. I would expect you to as well. So we're doing 8 times -63, and we get x squared minus 10x minus 504. All right. In our calculator, remember we're doing factors of the last, -504 that add to -10. So we put it in our calculator. -504 divide x, -504 divide x plus x. We're looking for -10 in the red. We got some crazy stuff going on here. We got to go way down. 40, 30, 20. Oh, there it is. What are my two factors? 18 and -28. So we're going to do x and 18, x and -28. And then make sure that we divide. What are we dividing by? 8. It's whatever you slid in the beginning. Slide and then divide it. All right, so here's one where your fractions are going to matter. Try to get the calculator on here as well. All right, so 18 divide 8. And then again, I do math, enter, and it reduces to 9 over 4. That's as good as it gets. So we're going to move that 4 up to the beginning, and it should be added to 9. So 4x plus 9. Same thing, 28 divide 8, math, enter, and we get 7 over 2. So we slide the 2 up and get 2x minus 7. All right, 2 more. How many terms do they have? 4, which means we're going to group them. Okay, we're going to group them. The first one is worse than the second one. So we're going to do the first one, get it over with, and the second one won't be as hard. You're going to find factors of 56. I'm going to go ahead and tell you those factors are 7 and 8. So 7, 2, 2, 2, 3 x's. We have a plus. 64 is 8 and 8. 8 is 3 2s, so 64 is 6 2s and 2 x's. We're grouping those together. Remember, the easiest way to do this, I told you, was to change this to like plus negative. And then -21 is -1, 7, 3, and x. And 24, big fat plus here, is -1, 4, and 6. Sorry, I had to write it weird. 1, 4, and 6. Okay. Look at just the first two, or just the first parenthesis. Do they have a 7 in common? Just the first parenthesis. Do they have a 7 in common? No. Do they have a 2? How many of them? 3. Do they have an x in common? How many of them? 2 x's. So 3 2's, remember, is 8 and 2 x's. And then for the parentheses, you write down what you see that's left over. What did I leave? I left a 7x, a big fat plus, and then 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Look at your next one. What do the two have in common? Is there a -1 in each of them? Yes. Is there a 7 in each one? No. Is there a 3 in each one? Is there an x in each one? No. So the only thing I have is -1 times 3, which is -3. Read what you left. I have 7 times x, or 7x. We have a plus and 3 2's, which is 8. If you look at your 2 sets of parentheses, they are exactly the same, which means you did it right. So that's your first factor, 7x plus 8. And then what you pulled out is your second one, 8x squared minus 3. Again, one more, it's smaller numbers, so it's a lot easier. Okay, same concept, just smaller numbers. What are your factors of 10x cubed? And 3 x's, and a big fat plus. What are your factors of 25x squared? 5, 5, and 2 x's, big fat plus. 12 is 2 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3, and an x, and a big fat plus. And we said 30 was 5 and 6, which is 5, 2, and 3. Group. What's in common in the first two, or the first set of parentheses? A 5. Two x's. So we have a 5 and 2 x's. What did we leave? Just read it. 2 times x is 2x. We had a plus, and the only thing I left over here was 5. What do you have in common in the next set of parentheses? 2 and a 3. 2 times 3 is a positive 6. Read what you have left over. 2x plus 5. Your parentheses look exactly the same. So that means you did it right. So your first factor is 2x plus 5. Your second factor is whatever you had outside of parentheses. 5x squared plus 6. That's it. See if I have any questions. It's basically what you're doing. If you have any trouble with it, just ask me a question. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to stop sharing.